And then now that AI agent has to go to Airbnb.com and search through a browser and take screenshots and look at all the different reviews. So as these AI agents become more and more responsible for the tasks that you would normally do, because like normally when you're searching to purchase something, you're kind of looking online and looking through reviews and looking through different sites. But now with AI agents doing most of that work for you, a lot of tools are going to have to start becoming more and more accustomed to how an AI agent uses that platform. And so one good example of that is Cloudflare. They released this crawl endpoint. Right. And so the reason this is cool is because it actually creates an API endpoint, which if you don't really know what that is, it's basically just the server side talking to a website versus the browser side, right? Like when you're looking at something through the browser, they have a bunch of technology making it look fancy and easy to click around and all that kind of stuff. But if you want an AI agent to do something for you, it really only has the API, like the server side. And so APIs are, they're already pretty popular, but there's never been one that fully converts a browser that you would normally see on your computer in the front end into something that a server side process like an AI agent can actually process. And so Cloudflare, which is one of the largest providers of website hosting and security verification and all different kinds of stuff, they created this new endpoint called Crawl, where it will go and crawl a web page for you and give you a structured, JSON payload that you can use that is much, much smaller than if you're trying to take screenshots, right? And that's what a lot of AI agents are kind of defaulting to now is like they'll open a browser on your machine and then they'll go take a screenshot of that page and then they'll try to figure out what they need to do based on the screenshot. And that's taking a lot of tokens. It's using image models and ultimately it's less efficient. But having a fully text-based endpoint like this, where you can actually just, say, hey, this is the web page I'm looking for, go and find all the data that's on there. And then you can also have follow-on like chain requests where you can say, okay, if there's a second page on it, go ahead and look through the second page depending on what you're searching for. So now your AI agent has a much faster process of searching through a page rather than, taking screenshots of everything, trying to see all the styling, doing like inspect, if you do like right click inspect.
Yeah. So like, and I know you're big on the whole browser use thing. That was like when OpenClaw dropped, like that was the biggest thing. And I mean, I watch people like Quentin because what are they getting excited about in the future? But this in combination with the actual models getting better, like those two combined, because right now that the browser usage is typically the highest cost thing for them to run, correct?
Yeah, and it's the most inefficient, right? Because you're doing something that's made for like human usage and you're trying to get a bot to do it without it can't like, scroll around and see every single input. It can't see it that fast. So it has to do it in stages.
Yeah, which is actually back to that last thing with Moltbook or whatever. If y'all are watching this, make sure to go check out that clip as well. But like, that's why I thought it was funny. They built the agent first thing, but they built it in the style of a human usable Reddit type of thing. Okay, so like with tools like this that are going to make like crawling and combing the internet for agents a lot easier. And then also you got predictions coming out of everywhere. Like I think Sam Altman, his big prediction is that building your tools, software, everything like that, everything's going to move to an API first type of thing, which I feel like it's in this same direction, but it's kind of going down a different little path. You know what I mean? Like
the hard part is like a lot of websites and apps and stuff that got really, really popular, got popular from a consumer facing side first, right? So like think about Airbnb. Airbnb was really good because they created a really user-friendly way to find places to stay that were not hotels, and they offered private listings and all this different type of stuff. But now if I'm planning a trip with my family and I want to stay in a very certain area, it's very important to me to be close to an airport, let's say, or close to the interstate or whatever. And I really care about cleanliness. And, I just say all this stuff to an AI agent. And then now that AI agent has to go to Airbnb.com and search through a browser and take screenshots and look at all the different reviews. it's not as efficient as if there's an official like endpoint, API endpoint that an agent can just go to. And the key thing is that all of the data needs to be indexed in a way that's searchable based on what process in the search it's in, right? So like a search is multi-step a lot of times. Like I want to be in, let's say, Atlanta, right? And I'm going to be going to the aquarium, so I want to stay close to the aquarium, and I really care about safety, so I want to stay somewhere that's gated with a key pass entrance. I need at least 2 bedrooms. Like these are all the things my AI agent would know about me. And so then when it goes to find that property, the easiest way for it to find that is to have very clearly labeled sections of the properties that one talks about the safety reviews, one talks about how you get into the building, one of them talks about how many bedrooms are in the unit, one of them talks about the location distance to the aquarium. Like each of these things just needs to be able to be easily read by the AI agent because you're optimizing for speed and token usage, right? Like now, instead of being the first one that pops up on the Google search or in a blog or whatever, now you're just trying to be the one that uses the least amount of tokens and returns the information the fastest for the AI agent to be able to give a response to the human that tasked them with finding whatever they're looking for.
Hey, what's going on? David from SaaS with DaaS podcast. Make sure you click over here for some of our other episodes from the podcast. We'll see you on the next one.